Hello budgeters, if you're new here, my name is Babs, the budgeting coach, and today I'm doing one of those what I spent last month videos where I'll be breaking down how I spend my money. I've not done this in a minute, but I will pull down the curtain and give a little bit of tea today. Expect everything, the good, the bad, the overspending, because I will be as transparent as I can, of course, keeping things to my discretion because it's my page. But yeah, I'll share what I can share. As a Kenyan living in Europe, I'll also do y'all a solid. I'll break down the numbers in Kenyan shillings and euros so that it's easy to translate the cost of living to Kenyan shillings, but also keep in mind that this is a budget for somebody living abroad, so it might not be similar to the cost of living in Kenya. Anyway, in short, let's dive in. Let's start with essential expenses. I budgeted around 1,122, which is around 161,000 Kenya shillings for essential expenses, but only spent 916 euros, which is about 132,000, saving me about 207 euros, which is about 30,000 Kenya shillings. For groceries, I budgeted 300 euros, 43,000, and spent 231 euros, which is 33,200, which I'm really happy about. I also saved on fuel because I did not spend my 80 euros, which is around 11,500 savings. My other essential expenses include BSO, which is like aftercare for my daughter at 240 euros, which is 34,500, car insurance at 94 euros, which is 13,500, home property insurance, which is 53 euros, around 7,600, motor tax at 75 euros, which is around 10,800, utilities, electricity, gas 124 euros, around 17,800, and water at 18 euros, around 2,600 Kenya shillings. Hopping on to non-essential expenses, we have around 433 euros budgeted, 62,200 in Kenya shillings, but ended up spending 541 euros, 77,700 Kenya shillings, going over by around 108 euros, which is around 15,500 Kenya shillings. The biggest culprit was my hair because I did not budget to go to the salon and I ended up going anyway, spent 120 euros, which is around 17,200 on hair, which is sewing and lines. That's a topic for another day. When I hadn't budgeted for it at all, I also went over on miscellaneous as usual, 154 euros, 22,100 Kenya shillings, when I had only planned for 100 euros, which is around 14,400. I did save in some areas though. I didn't spend anything on entertainment despite budgeting 80 euros on it, 11,500 Kenya shillings, and I saved a bit on my phone plan because I spent 29 euros, 4,170 Kenya shillings instead of budgeted 35 euros, which is around 5,000 Kenya shillings. My daughter's impromptu swimming lessons, I had to spend 58 euros and 50 cents, which is around 8,400 on her lessons, which wasn't in the budget because she was not supposed to go for swimming, but ended up going for swimming, and that is why you are a parent. Masaibu ya kuwa mzazi, like I would say. My debt breakdown, hapa ndio kuna changamoto. When it comes to debt, I had planned to spend 1,852 euros, which is around 266,000 Kenya shillings, but actually spent 2,339 euros, which is around 336,000 Kenya shillings, going over by 486 euros, which is around 70,000 Kenya shillings. My mortgage payment was constant, but of course the culprit is always the credit card. The main reason for going over budget on my credit card was because my mom was around, we did some shopping, and of course, I'm still a human, I make mistakes, so yes, I did go over budget, but of course, being a consciously aware budgeter, you just are able to reallocate and make sure you cut somewhere else at the expense of somewhere else. So the budget was 411 euros, 59,000, ended up spending 897 euros, 129,000 Kenya shillings. This is definitely something I need to work on and not do again. This is why watu wa diaspora wapendi wageni huwa wanaharibu budgets. Now let's go to expense tracker. One thing that really helps me stay accountable is my expense tracker. I record every single transaction, which helps me see my pattern and keep track of my spending. So for example, overview of the budget, you can already see that I did have a bit of grocery shopping here and there, majority of which was attributed to one of the supermarkets called Albertine, which is the expensive one. So if I actually do switch between Lidl and Albertine, I could end up saving a bit of money just in a snapshot. I also spent 46 euros and 35 cents, 6,660 shillings on dining out at McDonald's, and I also had a dinner with a friend. So small expenses here and there actually add up. So to summarize, I spent 916 euros, 132,000 on essential, 541 euros, 77,700 on non-essential, and 2,339 euros, 336,000 on debt payments, for a total of 3,795 euros, around 545,000 Kenya shillings. For the new month of April, I'm going to focus on not spending on my credit card, which is probably already under control because I have no expenses planned on it, and also managing unplanned expenses, just making sure that I pen everything in accordingly earlier in the month so that I'm not ambushed by unnecessary or unplanned expenses. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're in Kenya or living abroad and you'd like to get your finances in order, please feel free to reach out to me. My contacts will be in the description box. Remember, the first level of getting your money right is always getting or having a budget, or what they say, conscious spending, but basically tracking your expenses, tracking where your money is going. That's always the first step. Let me know in the comment section what your biggest Q1 win was. I'd like to celebrate with you, and as always, look out for the next video.